Hey yo, thanks for tuning in to Celeb Source. It's the backup channel backing Celeb up and bringing you all the breaking news. After weeks of anticipation, the Georgia runoff is now complete, and Raphael Warnock has beaten out former NFL player Herschel Walker. I want to give a shout out to Raphael Warnock because he single-handedly saved us from Herschel Walker. Thank you, Raphael Warnock. And listen, that's not a Democrat versus Republican thing. That's a just not Herschel Walker thing. You know what I'm saying? But listen, while we're on the subject of politics, there's a very interesting Supreme Court case being heard right now, okay? A woman named Mrs. Smith has a company in which she makes customized wedding websites for people who are getting married. And a same-sex couple came to her and asked her to make a website. And she refused because 1, she said it violated her religious beliefs. 2, she only believes that marriage is between a man and a woman. And 3, she said she cannot be forced to write anything that she does not believe on a product that she is selling. And by creating the website or creating the writing on the website, she would be implicitly or explicitly co-signing the relationship. Now, on the other side, the attorneys for the LGBTQ couple argue that because Mrs. Smith is offering a service, right, and it's a public accommodation, she must offer that service to members of the LGBT community. So listen, I'm discussing this case with a couple of friends, right? And we're going back and forth because one person, supports one side and the other person supports one side. But during the case, one of the Supreme Court judges asked an interesting question, right? And I'm going to share it with you because I want to hear your opinion. They were like, okay, let's say you are a black Santa Claus in a mall, right? And you're offering pictures to people who come in and out of the mall, right? You're selling these pictures. And all of a sudden, a little kid appears, right? And the little kid is wearing a KKK costume, right? Do you have to let that little kid sit on your lap? And do you, as Black Santa, have to take that photo with the little kid in the KKK uniform sitting on your lap? Listen, I don't know. Let me know what you think. If you were Black Santa and you were in the mall and you were allowing kids to take photos on your lap and a little kid with the KKK uniform came up and wanted to take the photo, would you let that kid sit on your lap? And is it constitutional for the government to be able to force you to let that little KKK kid sit on your lap? Let me know in the comments. Now, where we're talking about interesting court cases, your boy Bill Cosby is back in the news. And we all know what your boy Bill Cosby is famous for. He's famous for sticking his spoon in that pudding without consent. Now, on November 24th, while we were all eating turkey, New York passed a new law which empowers adult sexual assault survivors to sue their perpetrators even after the statute of limitations has expired. This means that cases that previously could not move forward can now be heard in the court of law. As a result, 5 women who long alleged that Bill Cosby had put the perv moves on him have now filed a lawsuit against him. The 5 accusers, Lily Bernard, Eden Turl, Jewel Gittins, Jennifer Thompson, and Sindra Ladd, allege that each one of them was abused or assaulted by Bill Cosby after meeting him between the 1960s and 1990s. And interestingly, 2 of the women actually appeared on The Cosby Show. One of those women who appeared on the show, Bernard, said that after Cosby had violated her, right, she told him that she was going to the police. And she said that Bill Cosby kicked her down a flight of stairs and basically threatened that if she was to go to the cops, he would defame her. Jeez. All I can say is that I wish the Brown Hornet had taken some of his own advice instead of running around and stinging these chicks. Listen, I gotta tell you, I gotta keep it real. It's hard for me to envision Bill Cosby taking his foot and kicking some chick down the stairs, okay? Source was on the main channel talking about the cognitive dissonance the other day, and I gotta tell you, I have it a little bit when it comes to Bill Cosby, right? Because when I think of Bill Cosby and the stairs, I think of like Cliff Huxtable coming down with Claire and the kids, you know what I'm saying? And they're singing Ray Charles's Night and Day, and then little Rudy hits you with the baby, you know, that's what I envision. But you know, fiction and reality are two different things. Listen, on to the next story. As we all know, TakeOff and the tragic events that led to his death have been a hot topic online. While most content creators have been respectful, some have said some things that haven't been so kosher. In response to these goings-ons, Offset took to social media and said that he wants people to post about TakeOff in a particular way. Offset said, quote, "Don't post TakeOff unless it's in a positive light, please!" Exclamation point, end quote. Listen, I agree with Offset 100%. The reality of the situation is that although we knew TakeOff through the music, we really didn't know him as a man, right? So we have to be very careful about how we speak about him, right? And what we can say is that this was a young, talented brother who was doing his thing, and he rose to the top of his field in a very short amount of time, which shows his skill set, right? And we need to not only respect his life, but we also need to respect him in death so that he can have a positive legacy. Hey yo, shout out to Offset for representing for his fam. Now, talking about Offset's fam, let's talk about Cardi B. As you know, people have been coming for Cardi because they're like, look, where's the second album? You hit us with the fire the first time around, and then nothing. Well, it seems like Cardi is feeling the heat, and Cardi has responded. Cardi took to social media and explained why there has not been a second album. Cardi said, quote, "I do have anxiety. I've been having a lot of anxiety because I know right after I drop my album, I have to go on tour. And I have bad separation anxiety from my kids. When it comes to the music, I just be feeling like I don't be liking anything. I feel like I got so many songs. I just don't like nothing. Like nothing is good enough. I got so much effing money saved up. I be like, yeah, whatever the F. I used to love making music, but now making music to me has become a job that gives me anxiety. Everybody just critique everything that I do. That is just like sometimes you just don't want to do something that may give you that much anxiety." End quote. I can appreciate where Cardi's coming from, and I understand what she's saying. If the music is giving her anxiety, then she doesn't have to do the music, you know what I'm saying? Or she can take her time, right? But here's the thing, she's in a totally different place than she was when she first entered the game. She's a wife now, she's a mother now, her priorities have changed, and I guarantee you, Cardi's got enough money in the bank to chill for a minute, right? But here's the thing though. This is why I appreciate real artists who have a passion for the music, right? Real musicians, right? Like Michael Jackson, like Stevie Wonder, like Gladys Knight, like Prince. Could you imagine if Prince hit us off with like Purple Rain and then that was it? And my man was like, "I'm not doing any music anymore because music gives me anxiety." Now, that would have made me very upset. You know, to keep it a buck, you know, I don't lose sleep over whether or not Cardi B is dropping another album. You know what I'm saying? Another 12 versions of WAP don't really affect me that deeply. You know, now, if you think about somebody like Lauryn Hill, I was upset when Lauryn didn't come back with a few more albums. But Cardi, I mean, it's neither here nor there to me. But it might be important to you. Let me know in the comments. Does it matter whether Cardi B drops another album? Well, it appears as if Keke Palmer has been everywhere this week. First, she appeared on Saturday Night Live and hosted the show, and she announced that she was pregnant, right? Then she was seen at Madison Square Garden with her boyfriend, Darius Jackson, and the two were put up on the Jumbotron, right? So Keke was not wearing makeup, and as a result, people on social media started making negative comments about Keke's looks. Keke saw the comments and she felt the need to clap back. Keke jumped on Twitter and said, quote, "I just saw a few comments of people saying I was ugly because I wasn't wearing any makeup. And I really want y'all to get the help y'all need because makeup isn't real. I'm beautiful in real life because of who I am, not what I look like." End quote. Well, the game saw the negative comments being said about Keke, and you know, the game don't let nobody disrespect a beautiful woman, right? So the game came online and said, quote, "Keke Palmer fine as F to me, no disrespect to her dude at all. Just finished watching Nope and felt inclined." End quote. Hey yo, shout out to the game for coming to Keke Palmer's defense, even though she didn't need it, because she's a beautiful woman. Now, here's the issue, right? You got all of these women on social media, right? And they all look like the same exact woman. They've got on 17 layers of makeup, and on top of that, they've got on the filter just to look good enough to take a photo, right? And you guys go online and you see these cake-faced broads and you give them all types of likes and you're giving them fire emojis and you're talking about how gorgeous they are and you want to fly them out, right? You praise these chicks. And then you guys are going to see Keke Palmer, who is a beautiful woman, step out without her makeup on, and you're going to try to call her ugly? That is so off base, yo. You need to think about what you're doing, okay? Think about what you're doing. Hey yo, shout out to all the beautiful women out there who can go outside without painting their faces with 17 layers of makeup. Represent. And listen, as a society, we got to get to a place where we value the beauty that women have naturally without all the extra stuff. I mean, if you want to put it on, that's your business, right? But that enhances beauty. That does not create beauty. Now on to the next story. As you all know, Run DMC member Jam Master Jay was murdered in 2002 in Jamaica, Queens. Now, his accused killers, Carl Jordan Jr. and Ronald Washington, are scheduled to finally go to trial in February 2023. According to federal prosecutors, right, they allege that Jam Master Jay had fallen on hard times after Run DMC's popularity had waned, and he had turned to drug dealing to get back the lifestyle that he once had, right? They also allege that Jam Master Jay was dealing coke on behalf of the Black Mafia family when he was snuffed out by rival drug dealers, okay? Due to this fact, they have subpoenaed BMF co-founder Terry Southwest T. Flannery to come in and be a witness in the trial, right? Now, Flannery, who is Big Meech's big brother, right, was hit with a 30-year bid, right? But he got out early because of the COVID-19 situation, right? So he should have been locked up till about 2026, but he is out in these streets, right? So that's very interesting. I'm interested to see what's going to happen with that trial. Listen, while we're talking about people who are dealing with legal situations, let's talk about your boy, Lil Wayne. It appears that Lil Wayne is having a little back and forth with one of his ex-assistants. Andrew Williams, who worked for Lil Wayne as his assistant, right, is saying that during a private plane ride in June, things went south. Williams is saying that while they were on the plane, Lil Wayne got into an argument with the jet's pilot. And Williams says he tried to break it up, so he tried to jump in the middle, and when he tried to jump in the middle, Lil Wayne punched him in the face. According to documents, the combination of closed fists and the numerous rings and large jewelry on the hands of Wayne caused great harm to Williams. Williams said that he was hospitalized after the punch, and then shortly after that, Wayne fired him, okay? So now he's suing for physical and emotional damages. okay? And Wayne has now come back and he's responded to the suit, right? With documents that say any contact that he had with Williams was in self-defense. He also says Williams didn't suffer any injuries, okay? And he says that he fired Williams because Williams failed to exercise reasonable care and diligence, okay? Lil Wayne wants this case thrown out. Listen, there's a whole lot going on in this case. Let's look at a couple of things, right? One, for Lil Wayne, right? There's a lot of people who I'm gonna argue with, right? But my pilot is not one of those people, especially if the plane is up in the air. That might be a moment where, even though I'm angry, I'm gonna hold my peace. You know what I'm saying? Because the pilot has a little bit too much control over my life in that situation, right? Two, for the assistant, Williams, if you jump into a fight, if you physically throw your body into the middle of a physical fight and you get punched, whose fault is that? Listen, that might be your own fault, right? And then last but not least, right? I gotta say this to Wayne. Everybody knows that if you want to fire somebody, right, and you think that they might have a chance where they can sue you, you gotta wait a little while. You know, you gotta let like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks go by, and then you gotta catch them on some other infraction, and then hit them with the papers. Okay, you don't show up tomorrow, right? But you can't let them link that back to the fight that took place on the plane. Hey, let me know what you think about the case. And thank you for tuning in to Celeb Source, your source for celebrity news. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Peace.